Man, what's going on, you guys? I'm back with another video. Today I'll be teaching you how to be the best Wraith in Apex Legends, man. So let's get into it, bro. Alright, man, so today we'll be talking about Wraith's abilities. We'll talk about her passive ability, Voices from the Void, her tactical ability, Into the Void, and obviously her ultimate, Dimensional Rift. So to start it off, I'll be talking about Into the Void first, because I do believe that this is probably her strongest ability and the one you will use most commonly. Using this ability properly will win you more gunfights, and I promise you it'll win you more games. Knowing how and when to use this ability will change the way that you play Wraith, and I'm going to start with it first because I feel like it's the most important one that every Wraith player should know how to use properly. Alright, with that being said now, I want to show you two very important ways you can use this. The first one being in combat. Watching this clip here, I have 2 bullets in my wingman. Just 2. She knows that I have to reload, so she starts to push me. That's when I pop my Into the Void, I get away, I get far enough to where I can reload safely. I get behind something, give myself some cover. Once I reload, I then push her again, and she has no clue where I am. And by the time she realizes where I am, I have all of the advantage, and I end up killing her, and it leads to a victory. So looking at that clip and the clip that I'm currently showing you, I guess where I'm going with these clips is you need to learn how to prolong your life as well. So when you're in a gunfight with a team or 2 squads with your team, prolonging your life is everything to you. When you're using Wraith, you really want to be able to stay in that gunfight with your team. So in this clip and the clip that I just previously showed you, I prolong my life long enough to where I can win these gun battles, and that means everything to you and your teammates. So that's a good tip I'll give to you guys, is to try and prolong your life, and it's a good indicator when you should pop your Into the Void. If you feel like you need to kind of give yourself an extra little bit of life, just pop the Into the Void. I promise you it'll help a little bit. Okay, so once you kind of get used to the feeling of when to pop your Into the Void, your next step is, what do I do with that? What do I do with Into the Void once I've pressed that button and I'm now invisible? Where do I go and what do I do with it? All you really have to do or know is you want to get a different angle on the enemies. I find that with Wraith, when I play Wraith, I find that if I get behind the enemies or if I put pressure on them from a different angle, I find that it really confuses the enemy and it makes it difficult for them to hit their shots on my teammates. I find that Wraith is a very, very good support player when she's played properly. So in this clip here, I get shot from a couple different angles. I go one way and then go right back to where I came from. It's a very easy strategy with Wraith. It's a pump fake. I'm pump faking the enemy. They don't know where I am at this point. I'm right behind them. And then my teammates are already down. This would have been a better clip if I had teammates up. But we were kind of getting pushed from everywhere. But this was a good example for me to show you guys on where to go and how to use Wraith. Get behind enemy lines. I find that Wraith is best played at close corners. If you can get right up in front of somebody or get right behind somebody, that's where she's most lethal at, I find. So coming up right here, my teammate goes down to the right of me, and I jump down from my high position. Right now, I feel like I'm in a good spot up here, but I have to help my teammate out. He goes down around the corner, so I jump down from my high position, and I kind of risk a lot here, but having my ability to go invisible really works out for me right here. So I jump down here, I take a few shots at whoever that is. I believe it was Lifeline, and then I start taking shots from another person. I pop my ability, I get my high ground again. They have no idea where I am. It was a very simple tactic, just regaining my high ground, and look how it pays off for me. Lifeline now thinks that I am gone, but I have not moved too far away, and I get a free kill from it. Another fantastic way to use Wraith is for flanking. This time, instead of being so close quarters with Wraith, we're going to move away from them. So my teammate is currently pinging them, and they're kind of middle to the left. My thought is to get behind these rocks that are indicated behind the arrow without them seeing me. I pop my ability, and I get behind them pretty easily without them noticing. Except they have a teammate that's already over here, Mirage. Take him down pretty quickly, and this clip was fairly long, but what ended up happening was I jumped up onto the rocks, and we got behind them. It was a fairly good battle. We ended up winning, but it was just too long for me to include the whole clip. Another good tip for you guys is that when you're popping this, I want you to be aware of this. When you see a caustic gas trap, don't be afraid to run right through while you're in your void. They don't explode, they don't trigger, they don't do anything. While you're in that void state, you don't take any damage from anything, and nothing will ever kind of react to you. So right now, nothing in this game, as like I said, this caustic trap will not go off if I'm in my void. So caustic players usually use these as waypoints. They'll kind of listen for them to pop. In that case situation, I use this and I run right past him because I had nowhere else to go. The circle was small, my health was low, I could not push the full team at this point. So I chose to go right through his gas trap, and I hoped to God that he would not see me or hear me. And of course, I ran right through his gas trap, and being a simple, basic caustic player, he did not realize that I went through because he didn't hear his trap go off. So don't ever rely on your caustic traps to go off if you're a caustic player. That's a tip for you guys as well. So another great way to use Wraith, obviously, is her ultimate Dimensional Rift. There's so many ways that you can use this thing. It's incredible. But my favorite is to use it as a support class, kind of. So what I'll do in this situation is I have two teammates respawning. I'm not going to leave them in the middle here. I'm going to set a portal from right where they spawn to right where their loot is. I want them to go from where they spawn to their loot without any danger. I don't want them dying. I don't want them shot at. I want them to go straight to there to get their loot, so you can continue on with this game very quickly. There's various other ways you can use them, like the one I'm about to show you. You can also combo this as well with her other abilities, such as her passive one, which is her Voices from the Void, which I'll show you in the next clip right now. So this one here, so my teammate has just got picked up. He's at a quarter health. You can see on my screen I'm prompted with a warn teammates, which means I'm being looked at. So I immediately call out to my teammates, okay, I'm being looked at, you're at low health, hit that Phoenix up and we'll get the hell out of here. Instead of running away and, kind of being shot in the back, I decided to pop my portal and kind of move away from the enemy for a little bit to kind of regain our position, to regain composure, and give us some time to regroup as a team. So one guy comes through, boom, we now have two over here, and we have one guy over there instead of all three of us trapped in that building. Once he gets to full health, he'll hit that portal and come over here. We now have all of the advantage. We're looking at this portal. They can't sneak up behind us. We have all of the advantage. So her passive ability, Voices from the Void, to me is one of the best in the game. Being able to know when enemies are looking at you is a huge, huge ability. Whenever I'm looting and someone looks at me, I'll get a prompt such as that one right there, the Warn Teammates button. Once that comes up, I'm able to let my teammates know that someone is near or looking at me. To me, that's a huge boost. Instead of getting picked off while I'm looting, I now have the ability to change my location and kind of get the advantage on them. So to me, I love having that as an ability. It just makes playing this game a little bit easier, if I'm being honest with you. And to kind of end this video off, I want to recap the best ways to play Wraith. For me, at least, I find that prolonging my life, changing my location constantly with Wraith, being able to flank and use my Void while in combat effectively is huge. While you're in the Void, you cannot take any damage. You can sneak by caustic grenades or gas traps. They do not go off while you run by them, only when you're in the Void. While you're in the Void, you are pretty much invisible. There is a small blue trail. It's kind of like a bluish purple. It does follow you, but it's not anything crazy obvious. They will be able to see it at a close range. But anything at a distance, it will be pretty hard for people to see. So keep that in mind while you're flanking. When you go around while you're flanking, you can use it then. And then as you get close to the enemy, it will have recharged and you will have it ready for combat. So don't be afraid to flank with Wraith. Don't feel like you're wasting her ability, because it does recharge very quickly and you will be able to get it almost immediately after you have flanked them. So keep those tips in mind as well. If I miss anything major, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to interact with you guys in the comment section. I might start live streaming a little bit later when I get more subscribers. But don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, kind of be interactive with the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Take it easy.